Microphone's working. Can I ask if the microphone's working? It's working, thank you. Can I ask for a little bit of my music, just to hear the volume? Okay. I think it's running. Okay. Can we have that from the start again? Thank you. Oh, this is all very exciting. Are you all comfortable? Everyone's ready? All right. Can I have my music, please? Let's do this. Time. Guten Tag, judges. It is such an honor for me to be standing on this world stage with you here today, because it is exactly this stage where year after year we can see that an excellent coffee experience is about so much more than just brewing a coffee. It is about understanding how certain parameters interact with our coffee from farm to cup. And today I want to talk about temperature and how it affects my coffee in 3 stages. The first stage is at origin, where temperature is vital for how this coffee is grown and processed. And the second step is about me as a barista and roaster and how I can use temperature to modify this coffee. And the third step is all going to be about you judges, because temperature plays a vital role in how you will perceive this coffee's flavors. And I will be saying some flavor notes earlier on, but please don't worry to write them down just yet, because we'll have time in the end to do so. Let's start with our first stage, how temperature affects our coffee at origin. And therefore, we go all the way to the Koki Abraham washing station, located in Gucci in Yirgacheffe in south of Ethiopia. Now, if I would describe this area to you, I would say it's like a green and lush jungle, but the sun's impact is mellowed down by a steady overcast, and this results in colder temperatures. And then during the harvesting months, between November and February each year, the average temperature during the night is only 10 degrees, and it doesn't really get hotter than 21. So all of those colder temperatures, they really help our heirloom coffee to ripen a little bit slower and to build a beautiful white grape acidity that can transition into tropical fruit notes and a yellow stone fruit sweetness. So temperature has already helped us to build sweetness and acidity. We need to work on aroma and flavor now. And this brings me to how temperature affects processing. So I personally absolutely adore Ethiopian coffees. But as I get older, I want a little bit more out of my coffee. I want brighter acidity. And I want transitioning textures with complex sweetness. And the farmers could do all of this by working really closely with a company called Project Origin. This company has researched, developed, and introduced carbonic maceration to us, the world of coffee. Let me tell you how this works. So my coffee got picked perfectly ripe at a Brix level between 20 and 22. And then it got depulped and placed into tanks that are flushed with carbon dioxide. And now we have the tool in our hands to control fermentation temperature. In this way, we can introduce different kinds of yeast production that interact with this coffee. And this helps us to really brighten this white grape acidity. And we can introduce a flavor note of dark chocolate. And we can get more complex tropical sweetness. And we can get transitioning textures from silky to juicy to sparkly. So at origin, the temperature effect is already amazing. Let's move on to what I can do as a roaster and barista and how I can modulate temperature. I have roasted this coffee myself using 100-gram batches on a sample roaster, and my drop temperature was 170 degrees. This way, I could extend my roast time to 5 minutes 30, which means I can also extend the Maillard reaction. And this results in a higher content of polysaccharides, and this is what you can actually taste. So you can taste a really ripe and sweet pineapple and a ripe peach. Once I've tried this, I was very certain that I want to share this with you today. But what was uncertain was when, and this is why I use temperature to help me preserve this coffee. I have single dosed the roasted beans, and then I froze them at a steady temperature of minus 20 degrees. And this helped me to lock in all of those amazing flavors and nearly stop this coffee from aging. And it also helps me when grinding the frozen beans, as the grind size particle distribution is so much more accurate that it can bring me a lighter and brighter cup for you guys. Today, I pre-ground this coffee on a quite coarse grind setting in order to promote the amazing acidity this coffee has. This way, I can really emphasize a pineapple note in this coffee. After grinding, I stored this coffee in these little black vacuum-sealed containers to retain it from further air of oxidization. And this brings me to my brewing technique and how I could use temperature for brewing. As you can see, I'm making a V60 today. But my V60s are made out of metal, as I've realized that this material's heat transition is so much more accurate that it can get you brighter and lighter pineapple flavors in this coffee. Today, I'm working of a 1:15 ratio, starting with 20 grams of ground coffee and adding 300 grams of 92 degrees hot water. And in order to achieve the desired strength out of my coarser grind, you see me split my pours into 5 stages, every time allowing the water to completely pass through. This way, I can increase my yield without losing any vibrancy or clarity. The water that I'm using today is a mix between 50% BWT reverse osmosis water and 50% Yaza water. The Yaza water is a Turkish mineral water that has a slightly higher hydrogen carbonate strength. In this way, I can push body and sweetness in my coffee, and I can build a more round malic acidity structure. The mix of these two waters balances to a pH of 7.2, and judges, today I'll be asking you to look for a total brew time of 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So, I think it's already incredible how big the impact of temperature is at enriching and at processing and everything I do as a barista and roaster. So let's move on to you guys. Judges, today you are going to have a temperature-guided drinking experience, and therefore I want you to have a look at the little stands in front of you. Those are little infrared thermometers, and they will help you, and they will be a guideline to experience this coffee's change from hot to medium temperature to cold. And I'll be asking you to drink this coffee at very specific temperatures. In this way, we can pinpoint exactly how flavor, acidity, and body transition in those 3 different stages. After I place the cups underneath these stands, feel free to take those thermoses backstage with you for further taste assessment. And now, it's time to write a couple of things down. The aroma of this coffee. You will get red apple, peach iced tea, and ripe pineapple. The flavor of this coffee is so complex that I'll be splitting it into 3 different stages according to your drinking temperatures. So when this coffee is hot, so everything over 55 degrees, you will get red apple, purple plum, you get violet, and pineapple. When this coffee cools down to a temperature between 43 and 47 degrees, you will get ripe pineapple, ripe peach, and lemon drop candy. When this coffee cools down to a temperature underneath 40 degrees, you get a white grape acidity that reminds me of a beautiful Riesling. You get pomelo and hints of cacao. The aftertaste of this coffee is medium long, but super sweet and has hints of raisins and chocolate. The acidity structure of this coffee moves in the same 3 steps. It goes from hot, malic, like red apples, to medium, tropical, like pineapple, with hints of a citric acidity, and to cold, tartaric, like white grapes. The body of this coffee travels in the same 3 steps. So it goes from silky to juicy to sparkly. I think this is a really balanced cup. And right now I'm handing you the cup so you can assess the aroma, but please don't drink yet. Please assess the aroma. Thank you. So please take those stands backstage with you for further taste assessment. And then if this coffee doesn't cool down fast enough, please use your cupping spoons to help you to stir it to cool down. And please drink out of the vessels that I'm providing, because otherwise you're not going to get the same drinking experience. Judges, it is so nice for me to showcase to you that the Brewer's Cup is about so much more than just brewing a cup of coffee. It's about understanding how parameters like temperature can influence everything, and I'm so glad that I could share this with you. Time.
Nicole, Battefeld, Montgomery, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. How are you?
Yeah. I could see the moment when you put your game face on.
Yeah.
You were smiling, and then all of a sudden, I was like, okay, she's here. She's ready. You're such an inspiration. So really well done. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling good with my time management. I wasn't too slow. I wasn't
like
too
2
fast.
seconds. Nailed it.
Yeah,
Smashed it out the park.
that was my dream, to like use the time to make everyone feel comfortable, to get my message across, and yeah. Thank you,
judges.
Thank you so much.
Incredible. Thank you, Nicole, as well. Is there anything you want to say to anybody before you head backstage?
I want to thank BVT. I want to thank Honor for the beautiful little thermostats. They are there. And I want to thank my Röststätte family, because the coffee that I'm using right now is available at our online shop, Röststätte. And I want to thank my husband. Thank you, Jordan. You're the best. And I want to thank Team Germany and everyone for like supporting me, and it's been great.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your performance.
Thank you.
Take a chill out time backstage.
Yeah.
Everybody, Nicole. And we are going to take a short break as we head to our sponsor. So take a look at the screen, and we'll see you shortly.